and you can do the right. We're recording. Okay, well, hello everybody. This is Cathy here in the Om Shedi Shala, and I'm on the mat with Irene and Clement, who are great friends of mine and have been coming to class for a very long time. So I just want to find out a little bit about what they're thinking and feeling about the new online class situation. So let's just say hello. So hello to you guys.
Hi, Cathy.
Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed.
You're welcome.
So the first thing I wanted to ask you is, how do you compare the online and the real life classes? How are you feeling about them?
Online classes are great because you don't have to rush out to get into the car and get there on time, and you feel as though you're having a one-to-one.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
So it feels pretty special in that sense, but I do miss the hands-on yoga where you can walk around and give me a little push every now and again if you feel that I'm not doing something right. So I do miss that aspect of it, and the sort of social aspect of it, seeing everyone and saying hello and having a bit of a chat. But apart from that, the online yoga is great.
That's really good.
Yeah, yes, because especially with the lockdown, it gives us something to look forward to as well. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Clement?
Yeah, the online is it's good. It gives me an opportunity to practice a bit more. Obviously, you can't see as much as me as you would be able to on a Wednesday. So my mistakes are a little bit disguised, but it's okay. I can be patient with myself and as much as possible try and get into that the flow and go through the routine. But it's working very well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Are you cheating?
No, it's not.
You cheat a bit more when I'm not around.
I'm listening to my body.
That's it. That's good. I like that one. Well done. So you were coming to my Wednesday class. So you were doing one class a week. So how many are you doing, both of you doing now?
3.
We're both doing 3 classes a week, yes. You can't see me, but I do 3 classes a week.
Yeah. That's the beauty of online, though. You can make yourself, you know, you can make it secret.
Visible. So, yes, no, we do the Monday, Tuesdays, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And Friday, yes.
And so that's a big difference, isn't it? So are you feeling the benefits of that?
Yeah, because I think the classes are different, aren't they? That's deliberate. I take it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Fridays, I like Friday because I think you tend to take it at a slower pace.
Yes.
Wednesday's very energetic. And I noticed tonight that you started quite slow, and then the momentum built up, and then it got more and more demanding. So
that's a good word.
It felt like a Wednesday session tonight.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I'm not complaining. That's good.
Yes, I think the Monday and the Wednesday definitely are the dynamic of the timetable. I do a restorative, which is complete opposite, on a Tuesday, and then on the Friday I do a kind of mediocre, you know, this general session. But yeah, I'm glad that you can see the difference. That's good. That's really good. That's a big thumbs up, really, because I wanted to make sure there was a little bit to offer everybody, depending on what, you know, their ability and where they are in their practice, really.
Yeah, Fridays is like winding down for them for the weekend or preparing for the weekend. So it's working very well.
The only thing about the 3 sessions, I wonder if it's a little bit demanding on my knees. So I have to watch my knees a little bit closely and not do more than I should. It's not as though I can't do it, but then I don't want to put too much pressure on my knees. So I have to watch that. Yeah.
So that's really good news, because that means you're tuning in and you're listening to what your body needs. And sometimes we don't need to do all the dynamic stuff. We can just take it nice and easy. And, you know, there's yoga nidra, which is what the restorative yoga is. That's so much about just tuning in and taking it really slow. And for guys like you who are very dynamic, it can be quite tough to do a very, very basic class, because, you know, I mean, I don't generally go to them myself, but they are very beneficial. But this is the beauty of coming to class more than once, is that you get to know your body so well. So what have you discovered about your body? You've said about your knees, but I know there are things that you are able to do much more of now, aren't you?
Well, I'm not able to do it's not as I'm not meant to do the shoulder stand anymore, because I've got an eye condition. So it's not advisable to do the shoulder stand or the headstand, because I really used to enjoy the headstand. The full back bend, watching you do it, then I realized that I've been doing it not wrong, but I could have been doing it better all these years. So I think I'm improving on that. So rather than coming down on my head, I'm trying to come down on my shoulders now. And that's through watching you do it online.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Somebody else said about that, you know, they said about the fact that they usually position themselves right at the back of the class, but now everyone's at the front.
Yeah.
So you notice things more. Is that right? You notice a lot more.
Yeah, because you feel as though I feel as though that you're just there doing yoga for me and nobody else, which is, as I say, pretty special, you know. I know that everybody else is there, but it feels as though we're having like a one-to-one session, and I watch everything that you do, and I try to better what I do, even though, but also I have to listen to my body as well, because I know I can't do everything that you can do. Yeah.
How about you, Clement?
The breathing. I think it's taken a while just to get into that routine, but I think over the years I've come to appreciate the importance of the breathing and letting go, because once you let go and you do it through the breathing, it's surprising what you can do with your body, or what your body can do. So that's been quite a revelation, and it's calming.
Oh, I'm really impressed with you guys. I'm just like, wow, this is a dream come true. You know? I mean, not for you guys, but this is what, you know, as a teacher, you sort of hope that you sort of pass on these things, and it's really, really wonderful when you sort of think, oh yeah, they get it, they really get it. That's fantastic.
But it's the importance of being patient with yourself, and I'm conscious that maybe after years and years of bad practice with my body, for me to try and undo that, it takes time. And if I speeded things up, it certainly wouldn't work. So it's been the challenge, as I said, just listening, so going with the breathing, and just one step at a time. And sometimes it is baby steps, but I can definitely see the improvement.
That's really amazing. Wow, very good. Okay, well, I'm happy about that. Is there anything in particular with yoga that you sort of would love to be able to try out, or is there anything that you want to do more of, do you think, or has it changed something in you, like a behavior, a pattern, you know, is there anything significant that you want to draw on from yoga?
Well, when I started yoga all these years ago, I started before I joined your class, actually. And it was mainly just to keep fit, for the fun of it. And then, of course, I've been doing your class for what, I don't know, 15 years? How long have you been doing your class in the church hall?
Do you know, my son is 19, and I started teaching when I was pregnant with him. That's when I first qualified. So that hall was my first hall. They said, right, as part of your training, you have to set up your own class. And
Right.
that was it. So 18 years.
So I've been practicing for a long time, and I used to pride myself on wanting to do everything. I wanted to be perfect. Hence the reason why I did the headstand, full back bend. I did everything, and then I found that later on, I wasn't. I'm told, oh, you mustn't do the headstand anymore because it affects your eyes. You can't do the shoulder stands anymore. So now what I do is mainly for my health and to keep me supple, rather than just, it's for the fun of it as well, but I do it for my health as well, because I've got bad knees and I've got eyes that needs attention. So there are things that I have to watch when I do yoga now. And even when my legs are aching, I still do yoga because I know that it's good for me to do yoga. So now it's a different take. Yeah, it's completely different from when I started, because my body tells me something different now. But I still have to continue because I love yoga and my body is still supple and I can still do a lot of things that I did before, that I did in the beginning here. So yeah, I just want to carry on until I'm about 100.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's why I do it, because I just, it keeps you feeling young, I think. It makes you feel able.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do the full back bend. I know I've done it before, and I've been told that it's a mental block. And it probably is, but I mean that's a big challenge for me, and I'm determined to just to go up and just to be able to stay up for maybe 5 or maybe 10 even.
Okay, I'm making a note of that. Clement backbends. Right, I've done it. We're going to work on that.
Yeah, my tree pose, I used to be able to do my tree pose at home for as long as I wanted to and just stop because I got fed up. But now I struggle with my tree pose, and that's because my knees are bad. So I would love to be able to do my tree pose for a bit longer now.
Okay, yeah. I'm making a note of that. Tree pose. Yeah, that's a good one. I always say practice tree pose when you're making a cup of tea.
Yes.
You can stay up. Okay.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Yoga is now very popular, and it's also becoming increasingly popular amongst men, middle age and upwards. And the biggest challenge for me when I first started yoga, because again I used to go to another class, was I was the only male in the group, and it would have been so easy for me just to walk away from that. But I thought, no, I would stay with it. I mean, the person who was running the class, she stopped because she left to go and have children. But it's, I mean, when people ask me where do I do yoga, and I say you can go online, and if you put in yoga for mums, yeah, I think I get all sorts of weird stares, because they think yoga for mums. I mean, because it's a male reaction, isn't it? And they feel that they're going to be surrounded by yes. Which is true. Yeah.
Did you notice though that I've rebranded? I'm now Cathy Underwood Yoga. You haven't noticed that?
Oh.
Right, so over the last few months I've been rebranding. So now I'm CU Yoga, which is Cathy Underwood.
Oh, that's
Yoga.
right, because that came up on the screen.
That's the logo, right?
That's it. That's it. So everybody can. I've got my own website, which is cathyunderwoodyoga.com, and I'm slowly moving away from the yoga for mums because of exactly that. My work's when I first started, yoga for mums was what I was. I was a mum with young kids, and it was all about pregnancy yoga. It was all about toddlers and everything like that. So I set up yoga for mums. But now my life is so different. Everything's changed so much. So I have actually rebranded. So I'm glad you brought that up. For anyone listening.
But then, you know, but I've noticed, I mean, there's Jonathan and Steve who,
Yeah,
who came for a while, and then he tends to come periodically. So they're probably, and they're the younger ones as well, who are probably less
Mark.
inhibiting.
Yeah, Mark comes every now and then. Yeah.
So you've probably got more of a mixture, but I suppose I was thinking more in terms of a certain age group who might be interested, who might have been put off by the thought that well, this group is just for mums.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. It's taken me absolutely ages though, because that was my baby. Yoga for Mums. It worked out so well, and I just couldn't let it go for a very long time. But over the last year, I got the guts to change everything over. So it's all Cathy Underwood Yoga now. So yeah, very different. But Yoga for Mums will still be there because I still have a baby.
That's fine. I said that's the first big challenge, isn't it? If you can step over that threshold and feel that it's okay as a male to join a class which is Yoga for Mums, then I mean, that's good.
Well, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you for joining under the Yoga for Mums banner. That's amazing, really. Yeah, it's good. Oh, well, I'm very pleased that you guys are in the hall when we're practicing. There's a lovely core of people who've been coming for a long time, and I'm just so happy that we've got this online community now, you know, so we don't lose touch.
That's good.
Yeah, the hall is it has a nice atmosphere. It's it's very sociable. That probably can be interpreted in different ways, but it's
we're yoga buddies. That's what we are.
That's a lovely way of putting it. Yeah, we're yoga buddies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to just ask you one more thing now, and you I know that you have a lovely connection with is it Ruth Winston?
Ruth Winston Community Centre.
Yeah. Now tell me about that.
It's based in Palmer's Green. It's for the over 50s. They run a whole variety of courses, classes for people who attend. They do a lunch menu for people who want to stay on or want to come and have lunch there. They have regular visitors from local authority, from health specialists, from yoga specialists, from they do IT,
mental health.
they do mental health. It's really all encompassing. It's very good. It's very good.
Do you know how they're coping now with the sort of lockdown period?
They've closed down now because the people who go there are the over 50s. A lot of them would be our age group and older. So, and there are a lot of vulnerable people there as well. So they've actually closed it down for now, and until we don't know what's going to happen until the lockdown, until they find a vaccine. Who knows? Because my art teacher rang me the other day, and she said, you know, she wanted to see how we were getting on. And I said to her, have you heard anything? Do you know when we'll go back? She said, quite honest, it could be several months, because some of the people who go there, they have to be collected from their homes, because some of them, you know, could be partially blind, or, you know, they have problems, or they need a ride, dial-a-ride or something. So it's a sort of place where you have to be careful.
Yeah.
So they've closed it down completely for now, which is sad, because we had, you know, they did so many things in the summer. They put on shows. They had dancing classes. They have bazaars and all sorts of things, and nothing's happening there now. So
a lot of them, because of the age group, many would have underlying health problems. So it makes them quite vulnerable. And I can see that somewhere like the Ruth Winston will be one of the last to open up, because they would have to be pretty sure about the safety of the people who attend.
Yeah, it's such a worry, isn't it? I mean, these places are so important in our community. They're so important.
But they do send out still a regular newsletter.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very much keeping in touch with all the people who attend.
I've been texted. Turned it off. Yeah.
Should have been on silent.
I know. Ooh, bad yoga teacher. Well, I think that might be a signal that my dinner's ready.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I'm going to say thank you so much. And this was so much nicer because we didn't get the freezing or anything like that. So that's brilliant. Yeah. And it's so lovely to chat with you both. And
you too.
And I love having you in my sessions. Thank you for coming every week. And I hope you enjoy the online.
Thank you for being such a good teacher.
Do you have a full class every week?
I do. It's very good. Yeah, I have good numbers, and so I'm just going to keep it going until we go. Whatever happens. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can check out Ruth Winston if you go online.
Yes.
Yeah. And just the website, and then it will give you the full range of activities that they do.
Perfect. Lovely. Always love supporting community centres.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Yes, thank you very much. And you too. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye. Bye. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye.